What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and I am here tonight with the review for The Real Housewives of Potomac. This is Season 4 Reunion Part 1 of 3. I don't know why we have a 3-part reunion. This season was good, but it wasn't good enough for a 3-part reunion. But you guys, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into it. Alright, you guys, so the reunion starts. We see the girls getting ready for the reunion. Then we see them get on the couch. So before we even get into the reunion, I want to talk about the girls, the looks, who I liked, who I disliked, and we're gonna talk about who sat where. So Andy, host, middle. So to the right of Andy, you have Ashley first, followed by Karen, followed by Monique, and then on the left of Andy, it is Giselle, it is Candice, and it is Robin on the end. I'm cool with Robin on the end, and I'm cool with Monique on the end. And I guess I'm kind of cool with Giselle being sitting right next to Andy, but I'm having an issue with Ashley sitting next to Andy. I felt like maybe it should have been. Actually, you know what? So my order would have. I thought my order would have been Candice, Giselle, then Robin, and Ashley, Karen, and Monique. I would have kept it that way. And the reason why I would put Candice first, because Candice, to me, I felt like she brought a little bit more drama than what Giselle did, but maybe not. So we start the reunion, and immediately Ashley was defensive about Michael, because Karen says, Karen was talking about how Michael loves the camera, and, Andy was like, you know what, we'll get into all that a little bit later. So, because Giselle was like, you know what, I'm tired of talking about the Michael stuff. And Karen was like, girl, I know you not talking because you are the main person that being your interview, your postseason interview looks, and you shading the shit out of Michael and Ashley. And I was just thinking the same thing. I'm like, I know Giselle is not one to talk. Like, come on, girl. Like, you live for this shit. But now you want to say you're tired of it? Right. Miss me with that, Giselle. So then we started talking about Giselle and her, her therapy session with Dr. Ken. And, she said that she, it was through Dr. Ken that she realized she needed to be more empathetic. And that's when a light bulb went off in her. And Ken was like, so you didn't think you was a mean old lady? And she was like, no, she just thought people needed to have more sensitivity. And I'm like, wow, that says a lot about Giselle. That she felt like other people need to be more sensitive to the things that she says. And then, Karen says, because a viewer asked the question, how many therapy sessions has Giselle been to? And does, and if so, however many she's been to, does she think she needs to add more to it? Which I definitely think she does, because I don't think therapy is helping her one bit. So then, Karen says, when it comes down to Giselle, she is still, that messy train that always arrives on time. But she feels like the only way Giselle's going to change anything about herself is when Giselle wants to change, which I definitely 100% agree with that. So then, Andy asked Giselle, has she talked to Sherman? And she says, I saw Sherman at the, well, he asked her when was the last time she saw Sherman. She says, I saw Sherman at the gym. He said, did you speak to him? She says, no, I didn't speak to him. So, so then they ask her, like, so why didn't Sherman go to the wedding with you? And again, she was talking about he didn't want to be around Monique. And Monique was like, please don't put this on me again. She says, I'm not putting it on you. And, Sherman should have been there to support her, which he absolutely 100% should have been there to support her. But, that's when I just think Sherman had checked out completely with Giselle. And then, Andy asked Karen the question. So someone from Saks called you to ask you about Giselle's relationship with Sherman? She says, yes, someone did call me from Saks. And I was kind of on Ashley and Giselle's side. Like, so you mean to tell me someone called you from Saks about Giselle's relationship? They have to be extremely messy, which is possible. But even still, why would somebody call you instead of calling Giselle his girlfriend at the time? But, it is what it is. So then, Andy asked Giselle, is she, seeing anybody? Is she serious with anyone? And she answered the question. She says, yes. And Andy says, well, is it who, he says, I have a theory of who it is because I've been seeing it around. He says, can I ask you, is it this person? She says, who do you think it is? He says, is your ex-husband Jamal? She says, yes. So she and Jamal are in the stages of dating each other again. Her girls don't really know how to feel about that because anytime just Jamal comes down to see them, they always all go out to eat as a family. But here lately, it's just been him and her, and she's open to seeing what happens between she and Jamal. But when he would tweet, I guess they broke up. But Karen says if anybody can handle her, it is him because he knows her. And but she also said she didn't want to meet a new man, which he's not a new man. But yeah, they're making baby steps at this point. All right, next we move over to Karen and her perfume, Ladam. So Andy asks her, so where's Ladam at? She says, well, we're in Bloomingdale's. And, she just had a pop-up in Atlanta yesterday, actually. And I saw some of the photos. I know Dr. Jackie went out to support her. I have to go back and look because she posted it on her IG today. But congratulations to Karen on that one. Like that's, and actually her website, I know it crashed last Sunday after the episode aired because she put up on Instagram that, the website was down, but they were working to get it back up. So congratulations to Karen and all her, congratulations to Karen with all her success, and I wish her nothing but more success. So then Andy asked the question like, so why did you feel the need to thank Giselle in your speech? And Karen says, well, Andy, I was hoping that somewhere deep down inside that my friend was still there. And, maybe she is, maybe she ain't. But Karen also was upset with Giselle for Giselle on her interview saying that, she doesn't own her company, that she's just the face of it. She says, I absolutely own my company. It's just that I have a partner. And, Karen, you don't have to explain shit to Giselle. Giselle is miserable and she's hating. Like, that's all it is with Giselle. She's a miserable hater. And I just don't get it. Like, if that's your homegirl, if that's your friend, support your friend. Be like, when Karen says she couldn't tell you stuff, you should be like, what, Karen, that's fine. You tell me stuff when you can. I just want to know what's going on with you so that I know what to support. And if she says, in all good time, Giselle, if she were to say that, then be like, what, Karen, cool. Like I just said, you tell me when you're ready, when it's okay for you to tell me. Again, I'm just trying to, look out for you. Make sure all is good. I want to cheer you on. I want to be your cheerleader. I want to do this. I want to do that. Instead of being this negative Nancy. Oh, Karen doesn't own her company. Oh, I think Karen is just the face of this company. Oh, she got to go talk to her investors. Oh, this and this and that. Like, come on, Giselle. Like, it's stupid. Like, it's already hard enough for black people as it is. 10 times harder for black women. Why knock another woman? Why knock another woman when she's down, and another black woman at that? And she's not. I'm not saying that Karen is down, but why knock her down? Why not be like, okay, I want to know this and this and this and that. She says I can't tell you this and this and this and that. Cool. Tell me this. Well, if you can't tell me that, what can, and if she says she can't tell you that, you ask her, what is it that you can tell me? And then if she says, there's not I have to keep things a little bit secretive, a little bit on the hush hush, leave it at that and shut the fuck up. Plain and simple. So then Andy asked the question of Giselle, like, why was it such a big issue of Karen being on Instagram Live? So Giselle says, it really wasn't that it wasn't a bad thing. She assumed that Karen was in bed and that it was just shocking and very funny that she was on Instagram Live. And I'm like, why is it shocking and funny? And why do you guys feel like you can dictate a way a person, grieves any, like, I just didn't get that. I thought that was ridiculously stupid to me personally. Just looking from the outside in, I just did not understand it whatsoever. Just talking about, and then Robin even chimed in. I'm like, Robin, you sit over there and you shut up, please. And Karen said, she just felt, the whole thing was they were on that plantation and she was surrounded by death. And I can 100% attest to what Karen is saying. It doesn't take a lot. Like, if you've lost a parent, I've lost my mom. A lot of you guys who've been around my channel for a minute, you know that I've lost my mother. And sometimes when people die around me that I know, it just triggers all kind of emotions. And it just makes me, I'm trying to think. Like I had an aunt that passed away a few months ago. My mom and my aunt were close with each other, and when my aunt died, it just made me think so much about my mother, and it ultimately made me just a little bit sad. And I understood where Karen was coming from. And I get on, much like what Karen does, I get on this YouTube channel and I talk about these TV shows to make myself feel a little bit better. And that's what Karen was doing. She got on Instagram Live to thank the people that have been there to support her or have said encouraging words to her. And I just don't understand why these women felt the need to question her grieving process. And I was so happy what Karen said to Robin. Karen said, you can't judge my grieving process, just like I don't judge the fact that you love Juan, but we all know Juan doesn't want to marry you. Like, come on, Robin. And I just wanted Robin to just mind her business. So then Andy asked Karen, because we found out that we found out in the season finale, Karen is back in Potomac. So Andy asked her, so are you renting in Potomac or have you bought the house in Potomac? And Karen says, well, Andy, I have two options. Well, actually, I'm renting a house, leasing a house, but with the option to buy. And I'm just going to make the decision that's best for me and Ray. And, I'm okay. I'm here for Karen. And, they asked, would there be any more pieces delivered to the house? Hopefully not. I don't get why they delivered the pizza last season anyways. That was stupid as shit. All right, you guys. So, we got Dot on the stage. And I'm not going to call her Evil D anymore. I'm just going to call her Dorothy. So, she's on the couch with the ladies. With her purse that she hit Candice with, by the way. And, Monique was like, this is the first time we've had a mom on stage. With this group, yes, it is the first time that a mom has been on stage. But it's not the first time in Housewives history that a mom has been on stage. Mama Joyce has been on stage in Atlanta. I believe Mama Elsa was on stage with the Real Housewives of Miami. Mama D from Real Housewives of Dallas was on the stage last season with Leanne and Deandra. So it's not the first time that a mother has been on the stage. And they were like, why is she there? Well, because Andy invited her, and Andy said, well, why did you take the invitation? Because she loves the cameras. And I'm like, well, at least she was honest. So let's see where we are, you guys. So we find out that Candice and Mama D with Mama Dorothy are not in counseling anymore. No shock there. So, we then start talking about Candice's brother and, why was she upset and why was she, or as she said, she wasn't upset. But she was clearly upset. Very upset. So Candice says the reason why she went ahead and told her mom about her brother being there was because her mom got upset with her when she found out about her brother. Now, Candice says she found out about her brother when she was 10 years old because she was at her dad's house and she saw a poem that her brother wrote for her dad, and it was signed, "Love Your Son." So she called her mom and she asked her mom about him. Now, I can understand that. The mom, I can understand Dot getting mad about that. Because that's not a conversation that Candice should have had with her mom. That's a conversation that you should have had with your daddy. When you saw that, you should have been like, Daddy, who is this signing a card saying love your son? Like, I thought I was your only child, so what's up with that? So I definitely got where her mama was coming from in that aspect. But, it's just the fact that she just, like, she was just upset. So, Candice started crying. I'm like, oh, God, here we go with the... I'm like, Candice, girl, you doing the most for no reason. So, Dot says she's moved on from the hurt. But the biggest thing was he cheated on her, and it took her a long time to forgive him. Well, to let that go. So she says. And, all the ladies on the couch said that they want what's best for Candice and Dot. And, Andy, he chimed in when she said she was, she has moved on. He's like, no, you haven't. I was like, yes, someone finally said it. She has not moved on. She has not let the hurt go. And can I say, now, I'm not going to sit here and say that I 100% blame her because she was married to him. He cheated on her and he had a baby on her. But if I'm not, I think they said this was before that they got married to each other. So you obviously forgave him somewhat, and you got married to him, and you had a daughter. You had a daughter with him. So and that's the thing that baffles me. And the other thing that baffles me is if it seems like you blame Candace's brother, her father's son. It's like you blame him. That young man did not ask to be born. You need to take that up with the father. Like, you can't blame a child for coming into this world. He didn't ask to be born to his mom or his dad. So for her to be doing that, I just think she needs to look in the mirror, go seek out counseling herself, and figure out how to let that pain in her go. She's talking about that was 25 years ago. Well, she's been married for over 25 years. She had 2 other kids, and that's fine and that's cool. But you have not let that hurt go. Like, you need to let that hurt go. Like, please let it go. So then we talk about this purse slap between Dot and Ashley. I'm not Ashley, but Candice. So they reenacted, and she says we only heard one side of it, which was Candice's side, and we all know Candice can be a little bit dramatic. So she demonstrates it on Andy what happened. So she says, me and Candice got into it. She was talking her stuff, and I told her, "Bye, girl," and flung her hands with the purse. And then she said that she didn't hit her with the purse, that Candace's face must have, came in contact with the purse. That means you hit her with the purse, and you knew you hit her with the purse. It was funny to me. So then, I don't understand why Candice felt the need to do this, but Candice had the deed to the house that she lives in. So she and her mom both put down a down payment on the house, and both their names are on the deed. So Andy was like, "So it is your mom's house, but it's also your house, but it's your mom's house too." And then she said she's paying the full mortgage, and her mama says, what did her mama say? Because I wrote it down. I typed it up. If you say so. If you say so. So then we bring up the butter knife. Oh my God, the butter knife. So, Candace says the whole thing with the butter knife was the fact that Ashley kept coming in the house. Well, the reason why Ashley kept coming to your house is because your friend Giselle told Ashley to come back in your said house. But even still, you went out of order. Like, you were waving that butter knife at Ashley long before you told Ashley to leave, and Ashley came back. You were wielding that butter knife long before that, Candace. Like, let's be for real. And and I think Monique even said that, no, that's not how that was. So then, she and Ashley start to argue with each other. Ashley tells her that she is the least accomplished one on that stage. Candace calls Ashley a gold digger and says that Oz is closed, which we all know Oz is closed. And Ashley says, she's relieved that Oz is closed because they were barely making even. No shit, Sherlock. Nobody wants to eat fucking emu. Just saying. Nobody wants to eat emu. So then when Candace called Ashley a gold digger, she called Chris a gold digger. And, both Candace and Dot chimed to say he's not a gold digger. Like, his family has money. So, they have money. And, Candace, like, they own one of the biggest businesses in the world. And I was saying the same thing that when Robin said, they own Bassett Furniture. She says, no, it's not Bassett Furniture. So then Andy asked, does she approve of Candace's behavior on the show? She says no, that she does not approve of her behavior. And I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, I'm like, okay. So she does have some kind of moral compass, but it's still skewed a little bit. But whatever. All right, so part 1 of the reunion, it gets ready to close out with Ashley. So we start up with that horrible ass wig that Ashley wore in her interview. And, she said she gave her mama that wig. I'm like, I thought your mama was wearing that wig before, but okay. So Andy asks, has any of the housewives met, baby Dean Michael? She says no, none of the ladies have met him. She had postpartum. She had a little bit of postpartum, and then she talks about her dad, and she says she forgives her dad, and then there's a part of her which might be naive, but she still holds out hope for her dad. I was in there thinking, like, really, Ashley? That man slammed the door in your face and you still have hope for a relationship with your dad? Let it go, Ashley, please. So the lady said that, her dad, because Giselle was talking about, there was something on Twitter about people talking about fuck her dad or something like that. I can't remember what she said. And, Monique said that her dad looks like Michael. I was like, whoa. So you really went after your father? That is kind of disturbing and disgusting in a way. But we're not going to talk about it. We're just going to keep it moving. Because that really, that's disturbing. She says, and then she can even say, Ashley even says, you know what, I can kind of see it. It's kind of like I'm trying to fill in the gaps. Ew. Okay. So then Andy asked her about this tweet that she tweeted out before the reunion where she was talking about Kate. I'm so freaking pissed. They showed the full tweet because she was talking about mail ordered cooch Katie and hamster face Ashley, how she was, not hamster face Ashley, hamster face Candace, how she was going to go in on them at the reunion. But I know they didn't invite Katie. I'm still pissed off that they didn't invite Katie, but we're here now. What can we do? But, and she says, no, I don't feel anything about saying it because Candice is nasty. And, Ashley says that, Chris had tweeted her about her miscarriage. They did show a tweet about Chris, but I think Chris was talking about, I think Chris was co-signing what Candice was saying about Ashley's drinking. Again, don't care about it. So then they talk about, Ashley's prenup with Michael. They said if she divorced before 5 years, she would get a lump sum of I know it's in the millions. I think it was 1.4 or 1.5 million. She says, yeah, that was if it was before to Karen. And then, Giselle said, but wasn't there also there's a clause in there that if you guys make it to 5 years, that you get half? She says, yes, that is true. And I'm like, well, damn, Ashley, you hit the jackpot. Like, you make it to 5 years, you get half. If you leave before 5, you get some money. You get a lump sum of money. And then on top of that, you can get child support from him. Cha-ching! Like, damn, girl, you did that. You did that. So then we close out with Candice and Ashley arguing, and I'm just like, why are we talking about this stupid shit? So, Candice felt that Ashley wanted attention at the rainbow party when they were talking about, the miscarriage. And Ashley was like, girl, I was on one end of the table and you were at the other end. But Candice was like, ouch, I just bit my tongue. Candice is like, this is when you got on the microphone, Ashley. And, so then she also says the reason why I felt the way that I felt is because also at that party, allegedly, Michael grabbed the cameraman's ass. So it just didn't feel genuine to her. And I'm just like, Candice, why does it matter to you? I'm still trying to figure out why anything related to Ashley is such a concern to Candice. It makes no freaking sense whatsoever to me. Why? Why do you care? Let it go. Oh my God, then they just screaming at each other. I'm like, please shut up. And then Michael shows up, and that is where the reunion ended. So we're going into part 2, and the men join part 2 of the reunion. So be sure to like the video, leave your comments, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification button, and I will see you guys later. From Mayor to Medicine and Power.